Eurita Taylor of Unleashing Unlimited Power. Welcome to my podcast. Thank you for joining in today. I have my guest today, Denice Pulley. She's the assistant manager at Speedway. She's here with us today to talk about drug abuse. Welcome, Denise. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Rita. You're welcome, honey.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, 47, one child, live a very busy, overworked life.
Okay, thank you for saying that. We're here to talk about an addiction that you have for prescription drugs. Tell us what happened when you started prescription drugs.
I didn't start them on purpose. I had a lot of back issues, and doctors prescribed them for me. And I'd been on them on and off for 20 years. And when I went back, I had gained a lot of weight. And after I lost the weight, I ended up going back to work. And at that point, the back was killing me. So I started taking more. Back killed me more. Take more. The next thing I knew, every time I was waking up, I would have to take one. Anytime I got into an argument, I'd have to take one. Anytime I had a bad day at work or somebody was irritating me, I had to take one. So it just full-blown got out of control.
Do you mind sharing with us what medicines they were?
Percocet was my choice. That was what was prescribed to me, and that's what I bought off the street. And if I couldn't find that, then I bought Suboxones, which is a synthetic Percocet, but it's a legal one, but not when you buy it off the street.
So what I'm hearing you say is when you are irritated or when you have a bad day, you were taking them. How were they helping you to stabilize your mood?
Because they just made you high, and you forgot everything. You didn't care about nothing no more.
Okay, and is it safe to say that you were taking more than what the doctor prescribed?
Oh, yeah, that would be an understatement.
Okay, so I'm sorry. It sounded funny when you said it's an understatement because sometimes we take medicine and when we either don't pay attention to the amount that we're supposed to take, we take more, or sometimes, like myself, I forget to take them. So, how did they affect you? How did it affect your family life, your work life, you as a whole? How did it affect you?
Mm. I'm sorry, guys. My earphones hooked up and I don't know. Sorry, honey.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, what I asked you is how did it affect you, your work life, your family life? How did it affect you as a whole, taking those prescription drugs more than what the doctor prescribed for you?
How can I describe this? I worked a lot more because I wasn't in the pain. I didn't care. So there was a lot of times that I was working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and it wasn't bugging me because, I had another pill to take, and it was okay. So it just one right after another. Sorry, I keep moving. I swear I'll stop in a second.
Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay, good,
There we go.
good. You were telling me how it affected your family life.
It did. It, oh, Lord. I'm going to start crying. We didn't have money for anything. I made sure bills were paid. And then after that, it was everything else had to be put back for medicine. My child did not get to do a lot of things because mom needed her medicine. Um, a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting because I'd wake up, he'd find me high, laying around all over the place. It made life horrible.
What made you decide to come off, to stop taking the medicine? What made you decide to do that?
The first thing was I had went to get my prescriptions refilled through the doctor, and they found Suboxone in my system. So I was kicked out of the thing right there. But I knew all I had to do was go to another doctor in life because they would just give you more because that's what they do. They just give you more. When I took 120 prescription pills in 11 days, I knew it was either time to get off of them or die. And my son means more to me than any white pill, and I'll never touch another one again.
Let me say at this point, I am so proud of you because it's not easy. I know a lot of people that they take medicine, they do drugs, and it's not easy. But I am so proud of you. My hat goes off you for what you did. And I know that it probably was the hardest thing you've ever done, but I am proud of you. So tell me, what changed for you once you decided, okay, I am done with prescription drugs. I don't want to take another one. What are some of the things that changed for you that made your life better?
Oh, my whole life changed. It was, we had more money. We could go out and do things as a family. I was happier. I wasn't angry and fighting all the time. Things just, I can't say they didn't matter, but the little things didn't matter no more. Not worth fighting over, and the fighting stopped between me and my husband, and we got along a lot better. And we went from living in a two-bedroom apartment for 15 years to being able to buy our own home with 6 acres of land because I got off them pills and we had the extra money to do it. So my life's
How
turned
does that make you
360.
feel? How does that make you
Oh,
feel?
excited.
Like you
Like it
just
makes you
said,
worth
360 turnaround.
it,
And it can't be
it
360, come back the
it
same
makes
way.
you appreciate life again. It makes you appreciate life again. You know it's not that bad.
If you could tell someone right now, if you could tell my listeners one thing, what would you tell them?
One thing about getting off the drugs,
One thing about being on the drugs and anything you want to tell them, whether it's being on the drugs, getting off the drugs, where you're at right now, what would you tell them?
they're not worth it. It's not worth it. You're the lying, the cheating, everything that you do to get that next high, that next hit. You've let your family down, your friends down. You've stole from them. You've lied to them. None of you trust you anymore. It's not worth it. There is help. You can get help, but you have to want to do it. You can't, well, because the judge put me here. Oh, because my mom won't give me money anymore because I won't get off it. You have to wholeheartedly do it because it's going to be the hardest thing you've done, but it's worth it.
Let me ask you a question. You said that one of the things that changed for you were your finances. Okay. When you were prior to buying the house, because you mentioned you bought a house prior to doing that, and you were spending all this money on your prescription drugs and doing whatever you wanted to do. Did your finances change that allow you to buy a house, or just the fact that you were just cutting out buying the drugs that allow you, because going from what you said, a 2 bedroom house now to a 6 bedroom house, that was a lot of money spent on drugs.
Yes. It was solely because I stopped buying the drugs. My checks would be five, $400 to $500 every week. 200 went to bills, 200 went to pills. I probably save anywhere from $500 to $600 a month not buying pills.
Okay, I guess what I meant to ask you was, okay, so you got to the point where you're saying, I don't want to do drugs anymore. So basically, what you had to do was retrain your thinking. Because here you were, you went from a certain lifestyle, because that was a lifestyle. So you went from a certain lifestyle to get someplace else. So you had to retrain your thinking. What else did you do? What got you to the point where you were saying, okay, I want to have something different. You said your son, but rather than give you the answer, I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, how did you retrain your thinking to start saving? What helped you get to that point that you learn how to save your money?
Well, I've always been able to save my money just because that's just for me. I don't spend every dime I ever had, and I've always been able to hold on to money. So that was something that was instilled in me a long time ago. And then when I was on the drugs, I didn't care how much money I spent. Just if I needed it, I was spending it. So once I got off them, it was more just there was so much extra money that I honestly couldn't spend it all because I'm not a shopper. I buy the necessities. I don't spend any money on myself. I spend it on everybody else. So that money just accumulated. And I had this very good friend of mine that put us in this thing where you save $10 every week out of your paycheck and put it into a separate account. And I did that. And I got quite a bit of money in there. We was saving every little extra check, extra bonus we was putting in there. And within a few months, we had probably $1,400 in there, still in there to this day. And then she also taught me that anytime that you go shopping, you find something on sale, take that little bit of money that you save on that sale and put it back. Them little things have taught me to save more money. And the fact that I'm not buying them things, I am able to buy more stuff and actually put that money back because they're not going on pills. So my whole lifestyle changed to where I go to the store and I didn't have to have a calculator with me to figure out how much I was going to spend and how much I still needed for pills and how much I needed for bills that month. So it was fairly easy with the money just because like I said, I had 500, 600 extra dollars every month that wasn't going out.
That feels good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I bet
You
it
should have
does, and
seen
I
my
know
friend
that
when I
it.
showed her.
When you showed her
Go ahead,
what?
honey. What did you say?
You said I
Oh,
should see
you
your
should have seen
friend
how
when you showed
excited
her.
she was for me. How excited she
I
was
bet.
for me when I showed her how much was in the bank accounts. She's a good
I know
friend.
I said it before, but I'm so proud of you because it's not easy. I've spoken to a lot of people, and coming off of an addiction, they did, and I asked you, what changed for you? And I was trying to ask you a question without giving you the answer. I mean, we know each other, but it's not easy to give up an addiction and just start to think maturely. Most people give up one addiction for another. They're accustomed to spending the money, so they find other ways to spend that money because it's like, okay, we live without the money, we can continue doing that without it. So what you did was you took a mature stand and you tell yourself, okay, I want something different for me, my husband, and my son. So you went out and you start saving your money with the help of your good friend, and you put that money away to purchase a house. So I think it's really safe to say that getting off of drugs was one of the best decisions you have ever made. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have one other that I done. That's the only reason why I'm here. There's two reasons why I'm here. I had my gastric bypass, and then I got off all the prescription pain pills.
So what do you do when there are days where the pain come back and it's really strong? What do you do as opposed to taking the medicine, taking prescription drugs, I should say? What do you do?
Them days are really hard because the pain's still real. It hurts, but you tend to take baths, try to relax some muscles. I have heating pads I lay on. I have a back stimulator that kind of works the muscles to try to relax some of it. I have learned ways that I can actually get my back to pop and get them back into place. So that helps a lot too. Um, Massaging, stretching, all them things help.
Are you still working all them hours at work? I'm just asking. Are you still working all them hours at work?
Yeah, absolutely. I still work 60 hours a week. Well, maybe with the new store I won't, but
That is awesome. And I assume that your relationship with your family have gotten better since you're off the drugs.
oh, absolutely, because when I'd get home, I was tired because it was high. You get home as soon as I walked in the door, I'd take another one. I'd fall asleep because I was high. Anytime I woke up, I took another one. Fell asleep because it was high. I couldn't tell you how many things I burnt myself. I burnt myself just from where I was so high you can't keep yourself awake and you fall out. And I had burnt everything in my home, myself included. So that was a little bit expensive replacing all that stuff, but worth it.
Now, one of the things that we talked about, and I think here is the right time to bring up about you, and you're taking some classes because you want to be a counselor to help other people, mainly women, you told me, who is getting off drugs or want to get off drugs. Do you mind sharing that with us about your plans for that? I know you're taking some classes right now, and based on your experiences, you want to now go and help other women. Tell us about that a little bit, please.
Absolutely. When I got off of them, I realized how much better I felt, how much better I felt about myself, how things had just changed for me. And I wanted that for just one other person, one other woman. So I started taking the CDC classes, Certified Chemical Dependency Counselor classes. And like I said, all the extra hard work, if I help one person, just one, then it's all been worth it. But I want to see more women be stronger, feel better about themselves than what they do during their time of drug addiction because it almost empowers you. Sometimes you feel so weak and so chained to that drug that that's all you can think about. Nothing else matters. And to get off of them and actually feel something to do better with yourself. If it's nothing but you were able to go to the grocery store and spend $50 to where you couldn't be before, I want that woman to feel that. I want her to know how strong she can be without the drugs.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. So, how soon into the future will I be able to say Denice Pulley, counselor?
I'm hoping I'm into the last part, into the ethics part, which is the hardest part in the world. But I'm hoping before too much longer, if they quit working me such crazy hours, I'd been done with it. But between a career like, well, I don't want to call it career. I want to call it job. With my job, family, I don't want to be a career. I don't want to die to be away. But with family life, work life, I try to get at least a little bit in it every week. So get 2 days coming off soon. So hopefully I can just throw my nose in a book, stay off my phone, and get some stuff done.
Well, there's definitely a need for counselors who help people, whether it be women, men, kids, get off of drugs. There's definitely a need for that. So I think that's something that we'll be looking forward to. And I definitely am looking forward to see you become that counselor to help other women get off and share your story because it's an amazing story to be able to get off of drugs and say, you know what? I used to be that person who was strung out on drugs. I used to be that person that spent my last dollar buying drugs as opposed to saving my money. And now I'm a homeowner. Now I'm off drugs. That's an amazing story. And I must say that I am looking forward to you being that counselor and you giving back to others, showing them a way, even with your friend, telling you to save $10. Because some people might think $10 is a little bit of money. Oh, I can't save that. But you being able to use that, use the experiences to help other people, other women. I think there's definitely a need for that. And I think that you'll be great helping others because there's no teacher like somebody teaching from their experience. So I think that's something really amazing to look forward to. And I hope that you excel in that. I really want that for you, not just as a friend, but as someone who see a need for that. Um, you live very close to Dayton, and as you know, Dayton has that huge epidemic, with opioids, and for years they've been trying to combat that. So being able to help your neighborhood, give back to your community will definitely help. I look forward to seeing that, and I am so proud of you, like I've said before. And is there any last thing you would like to share with us? I know you said plenty, and I appreciate everything you said.
Oh, thanks, Free. Really. After Eureka.
Rita
But
is fine.
I didn't hear that last part.
I said, is there, and I know you said plenty, but is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Now I'm kind of a little tongue tied right now. I have no idea. Kind of said it all.
You're a little tongue tied right now. Well, that's okay
You,
because what you said, someone definitely can use that. And I do appreciate you being here this evening, sharing your story. I know that it's still very dear to the heart because some of it is still fairly new. But I do appreciate you sharing your story. And if it help like one person, like you said, that's helpful to everyone.
yeah.
But I just want to wish you luck in your future endeavors, wish you luck in school, and congratulations again on the new house. That's awesome. And
Thank
I
you.
hope that the next time that we see each other, it would be, Rita, here's my diploma. I'm finished. Can I come work for you as a counselor? Yes, and I look forward to that because there's so much that you can do. You have a big heart, and I'm glad that you're no longer on the drugs and you can say that you're drug free. Because as I did some research for this interview, there's a lot of people that died from drugs, and women, what it says in the studies that women struggle a lot differently with the drugs than men do. So pat yourself on the back because that is a huge accomplishment. And I just thank God that you overcame that. Thank you so much for being on the show, Denise. I appreciate having you here. Stay tuned. There's more coming for Unleashing
Thanks for
Unlimited
having me.
Power. But thank you so much.